welcome back. Second week podcast alongside Lewis once again, or FaceTiming Lewis once again.
Yeah. First week was successful, so we're back for round two.
Yeah, I mean we got a good amount of views. The website's looking good. I'm updating it every night, so we just keep rolling. We're gonna be doing something.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to start off with the most obvious thing in sports. The finals are starting Thursday, with the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, this one's huge. I mean, I like this series. It's two completely different styles of team going at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it because like the first round was so great. The first two rounds were really good to watch, and then the finals on both sides were just really just kind of terrible. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about the new or this new matchup, which is in the finals. Because if you would have put any of those,
Yeah.
like hypothetically, if the finals would have been any of the Eastern Conference final games or the Western Conference final game, that would have been terrible. But I think this is going to be a very good
Oh
series.
yeah, those series.
Two very good teams. Who do you like in the series?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Cavs personally.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are liking.
Oh yeah. It's a popular pick, but I think the Cavs as a whole are playing a lot better with Tristan Thompson in the lineup than they were with Kevin Love, which is sad considering they could have had Andrew Wiggins instead of Tristan Thompson. Uh, but I mean, if J.R. Smith and the way Della Vadova has been playing, if they can keep it up, I mean, I see this series either going 6 or 7, but I think the Cavs will pull it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good series. I hear a lot of people saying the Cavs, and my mind says Cavs, but my heart is saying Warriors. If that makes any sense? But like, I originally, when I first heard it, I just went Cavs all the way, because you just think LeBron, he's just too good. But looking at it now, I'm thinking the Warriors stack up really well against them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have LeBron. He's the best player in the league. I mean, he's no doubt best player. People always say he's like Jordan, but I mean, yeah, he's gonna get 30 and 10 every night. But then you look at Curry, and Curry can get 30 every night. So I feel like they cancel out. And then looking at position by position,
Yeah.
I almost think the Warriors have an upper hand. Other than they don't have the best player in the world, I feel like it's pretty even.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, and I mean, the Warriors are strong where the Cavs aren't, and the Cavs are strong where the Warriors aren't. You're going to have Kyrie and Stephen Curry going at it, But the issue I see I saw this on an article somewhere, but the two times that the Warriors played the Cavs, it was either before the J.R. Smith Iman Shumpert trade or while Iman Shumpert was injured. And they'd never played the Knicks before the trade. So they've never gone against Iman Shumpert, who, as bad as the Knicks were, he's a lockdown defender. So I think he could play a major factor in this series as far as, I mean, you're not going to shut down either Stephen Curry or Klay Thompson or even Harrison Barnes, but enough to contain them where it's like, okay, I contained them. Okay, now LeBron and Kyrie go score your points like you will. So that's going to be my X factor in this series is how Shumpert plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge key, the way Shumpert plays. I definitely think there's going to have to be a guy that steps up. It's obviously you're going to have your stars being stars, but you're going to have a guy that steps up. The key in the series that I was looking at, and I think the way a team, like the way I look at a team and what makes a team good, I think there's two key factors, and that's rebounding and bench play. And I think in those areas, the Warriors have the upper hand. So yeah, I like the Warriors mainly because of I think just down low they're dominant, and then I think they have a deeper bench.
Yeah, yeah, I can see what you mean by that. I mean, that's gonna be, I tried to like pick apart each aspect of the series, and obviously, you know, Steph Curry's better than Kyrie, LeBron's better than Harrison Barnes, so that cancels each other out. And like you said, the board play is pretty even. I mean, you got either Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut or Tristan Thompson and Timofey Mozgov. So I think those come down pretty evenly. And like you said, the bench, I mean, the Warriors have the advantage in experience, but I mean, the Cavs do have Dellavedova, who's played well in playoffs. Trying to think who else they have. They have J.R. Smith if they start Shumpert off the bench. So, you know, the bench isn't as good as Golden State's, but like I said, it'll be interesting. These are two really good teams. You know, there's a reason why they made it this far, obviously.
The thing I'm keying in is if, like, I expect the Warriors to probably put Draymond Green on LeBron because he's their best defender. So you should put your best defender on the best player. But then after, like, if Draymond Green gets a foul trouble or he gets tired, like he will, because he's not Superman, you got Iguodala who can come in and shut down LeBron. I mean, not shut him down, but handle him because Iguodala is a very good defender. But looking at the Cavs,
Yeah.
who do you have? You have probably, I mean, if they short Shumpert, they'll probably have Shumpert on him or stick with Kyrie with a bad hamstring.
Yeah.
And then off the bench, who else is gonna stick him? You're gonna have Dellavedova. So just looking at who would
Dellavedova can't hang him.
Exactly. Just looking at the guys who are gonna shut down the star, I think you give the Warriors that advantage, and I think the Warriors. I like the Warriors to win the series. In that aspect of just they're just deeper, because just look at the bench, and the bench is just too good. Because Iguodala, former All-Star, he could still be a starter in the league. He can go off any night. Barbosa, you saw him go off this postseason. Livingston, he's still got a great shot, but they don't have as big as a role, so they're not making as big as an impact. But they can.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you look at it, and the interesting thing with it is, you look back to last year when the Spurs won, and it was because Kawhi Leonard was able to shut down LeBron with the rest of the team banged up. You got Kyrie it's eerily similar because you got Kyrie with the hamstring. Obviously, everyone knows that Kevin Love's out. I mean, Tristan Thompson has played well, but he's not Kevin Love. And the interesting thing is, the Spurs took them in 5, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
And that was just Kawhi. Now while Draymond Green and Iguodala aren't as good of defenders as Kawhi, in my opinion, it's still, there's no break.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, when one comes out, the other's going in. So he's going to have a good defender on him the whole series. So that, like you said, I agree with you. That's going to be an interesting thing there with how LeBron handles that, and if Kyrie can raise his level of play to compensate.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's not going to come down to LeBron or Curry. It's going to come down to the other stars. It's going to be Thompson and Irving, and then it's going to be. I really like the Tristan Thompson. If he can step up, then I think the Cavs have the upper hand, because if you look at the boards, I think Bogut will out-rebound Mozgov. There's a reason Bogut was the number 1 overall pick, and I know he hasn't been, people might say he's a bust, but he just hasn't been amazing like you think a first pick should be. But he's a very serviceable player. He can get 15 boards a game because he's actually good down low. And I definitely think Draymond Green is a little more athletic than Tristan Thompson, so I think that'll help him. And then if you look at the depth, you have David Lee coming off the bench for the Warriors, who can come in, get a double-double off the bench. And then who do you have for the Cavs? You got Perkins.
Yeah.
Like, if Kevin Love was healthy...
Played all of...
Yeah, exactly. He didn't play at all. So if you just look
Yeah,
at
who
the
played all
depth,
of 5 minutes and then was seen with the ice bags on his
yeah,
knees
exactly.
in J.R. Smith's spine.
If you look at the depth, it's just I definitely think I give the upper hand to the Warriors. That's why I like them in the series. That's why I bet a Jamaican kid I work with that the Warriors were going to win the series. So
I saw that tweet that
yeah, he was he loves LeBron because like basketball's not that big over there. So like when they see it, all they see is LeBron, LeBron highlights, how great LeBron is. So it's like he was annoying me, and like I there was a little like I was going both ways on who was going to win, and then he was just loving LeBron. So I was like, all right, I'm taking the Warriors, and I'll shut you up. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on the
that's all you
Warriors.
need to
Yeah.
do.
And other Warriors news that isn't the finals, their assistant coach Alvin Gentry, he went to the New Orleans Pelicans, or he will after the finals is over. This isn't like college football where the coach can leave early. He's going to stick through the finals, and he's going to head to the Pelicans, try and help them out because they have a very good young team. They just got to put it together.
Yeah, yeah, I liked that hire. I mean, he's he's obviously learned something from being with the Warriors. I personally, when I heard originally the Vinny Del Negro rumors as a possibility, I actually liked that a lot. If they would have gotten to him, because I think back to when they started when he was in Los Angeles and he was there with Chris Paul at the beginning and Blake Griffin, whatever. And he kind of helped along that city kind of mentality. And I was just thinking, if they got him and then had Drew Holiday run it, and then Anthony Davis, and then potentially DeAndre Jordan because he's a free agent, so you never know. I thought if they brought him in and could reassemble Lob City,
Yeah,
for the pure joy of watching it. I mean, I know the first couple of years Lob City didn't win anything until Doc Rivers got there, but just for the pure enjoyment of watching it again would be entertaining. But I like this hire from an aspect of building around what they have, and that's Davis and Drew Holiday, and trying to build back to Tyreek Evans. So I like this hire.
yeah, I definitely think Gentry was the right man because they have a very star-powered team that's young, and I think that's what the Warriors had this year. And then it was basically Steve Kerr and Gentry had to say, "All right, guys, let's just fundamentals. We're gonna have a deep team. Like, let's just do what we have to do to win. Don't try too much." And that's what he's gonna have to do with the Pelicans because you could see towards the end of the year it was Anthony Davis trying to make every shot, and if Anthony Davis wasn't shooting, it was Tyreek Evans. I think
Yeah,
he actually has to put in a really good offense. He helped the Warriors have one of the best defensive teams this year, so I think that's definitely going to help as well. I mean, the Pelicans are a good team. They're just not there yet. I think if
yeah,
they have, yeah, they just need
and
a
it doesn't help that they're in a tough West.
exactly, and they were still going to make it this year with a banged up
Yeah,
Holiday and a banged up Eric Gordon. Right now, you have a solid 4 out of 5 starters. If you're able to pick up a power forward, because I mean, Ryan Anderson's not that dominant power forward, or even, I mean, he's not even a power forward. He's just looking to shoot the ball.
yeah,
So, but I think that's a great hire for them. Another hire after the Bulls fired Tom Thibodeau, they signed Dave Holleberg from Iowa State for 5 years.
wow,
Yeah,
wow, I didn't see that come at all.
yeah, it was a surprise hire. Um, I believe he had NBA experience before, but it was looking at the names out there because it was kind of inevitable Thibodeau was going. Like you could just feel it, you heard it. So it was expected to go, but you didn't expect them to hire someone that quickly and a guy that really like you never really heard of. I mean, like if you watch the tournament, you've heard of him, and if you're an Iowa State fan, obviously you heard of him. But other than that, like you didn't really hear much. So that's why
Yeah,
it was surprising.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a really quick hire. I mean, they fired Thibodeau what 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
still
and
on the
especially,
website. That's how
yeah,
it was like 2 days ago or something like that.
yeah, and especially on a team like the Bulls, that I mean, you see it a lot today, where teams are trying to please their superstars by bringing in a coach they want. I can't believe, even if the Bulls come out and say they did, that they consulted Derrick Rose at all getting this guy. You know, that quickly, and to get him from, you know, to get rid of Thibodeau and get him so quickly, that kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah. Um, the thing that like you said, trying to please their star, but Rose loved Thibodeau,
Yeah,
and Thibodeau just didn't just kind of soured with the organization and the guys upstairs who make the decisions. So they moved on. Holleberg spent he played in the NBA for 10 years, played four with the Bulls. I don't think he has any NBA coaching experience, but I mean, they say he's well respected, and I guess they're hoping for like one of those rookie coach things where you have Steve Kerr and like when Mark Jackson like never coached before and all of a sudden he's awesome. I guess they're hoping for that,
yeah,
but I mean, he could be a rookie coach just like Derek Fisher. I mean,
yeah,
obviously he's not
yeah,
going to be that bad because they still have talent, but if he can't take this Bulls team to the next level, which is tough when you're a young, he's still young, he's 42. He's a young coach who doesn't really have much, he's not going to have much respect among the players because he's a college coach. So, I mean, if they don't take a step
yeah,
up, which the step up would be the finals, I mean, was it worth it? That's what I'm wondering. Because I think if you have Pau Gasol against the Cavs, you make the finals, and Thibodeau might not be fired. Probably still there.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, this is the organization making a bold move, and they gotta hope it pays off. Because if not,
yeah.
if you sour towards your players, D Rose may be walking.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be huge. The only thing I could think of this is, could this be a potential? You know, maybe they didn't consult D Rose because he's under contract, but maybe Jimmy Butler had something to do with this.
Yeah,
That's the one thing that's kind of sticking out in my head, is maybe they might have went to him and said, "What coach do you want to play for to stay here?" And he might have said, "This guy." Who knows?
yeah, you're
We'll
right.
never.
They may be changing the leader of their team because Jimmy Butler has played very well. He took over games in the Cavs series, and he can actually stay on the court.
Yeah,
So maybe they're moving it towards Butler. D Rose, they're just going to let walk at the end of his deal, and then they might try to fill in with guys other places. So that would be interesting to see. But again, they're still so close to a title that it would really not be smart if they soured D Rose before his contract was even up.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Another player that may walk out if D Rose is soured is Dwayne Wade. He wants to get paid, and he made that clear to the Miami Heat. And he said, "If you don't pay me, someone will." So he may opt out of his deal may give up $16.1 million for more money because he believes that he should get paid after taking a pay cut to bring LeBron in.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw it on our. What threw me off was I saw it on an article that was it was from some Cleveland writer saying that the Cavs should bring, LeBron should try to get him. Which I cannot see happening at all. They bring back Kevin Love, but I can definitely see this. I mean, there's a big market this off season for shooting guards. I mean, there's you look at some of the names: Monte Ellis, uh, Jimmy Butler is obviously the big one. Um, those two are the big free agents that I can think of off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also potential trades, whatever. So teams are looking big time for shooting guards if they need them. And Wade is adding himself to the list at the right time, and especially if he can, get a new deal, but do it kind of like LeBron, where it's just a 1 year. and then the cap shoots up. I think that's what all these players are trying to do is get an expiring contract after next season. So when the cap blows up, they can get more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be smart. I mean, I don't really know because Wade has an option for 16.1 mil for next year, and then he's free to go wherever. But he wants to get paid now, and then you're looking at the teams that need a shooting guard that are willing to pay him. And if he wants more than 16.1 mil, you're looking at who's going to pay him that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't see a team really going for Wade for 18, 20 mil a year, no matter how long. I mean, it's only for a year. Like, what's the point? He's older, and I don't even know who has that much cap space, but you need no contending team's got 20 mil to give away to a shooting guard.
Oh yeah, no way. But I mean, I think the interesting thing is, he signed that deal for 16 mil, and like you said, it was with intention to try to bring LeBron back into the fold in Miami. Obviously, it didn't happen. Whatever. But another factor with it was he had been coming off 2 seasons where he played half the games because of his knees. This year, I believe he finally held up again.
Yeah.
So, that I think that might be another factor where he's like, listen, I'm healthy, and LeBron didn't come. Pay me.
Yeah. I mean, and then if he wants to get paid, you got him and Bosh. Whiteside played well. You got 2 serviceable point guards in Napier and Chalmers, and then you got Dang. So, I mean, they could probably make the playoffs with that team if everyone stays healthy. But, I mean, if you're paying Wade more, you can't really add more. Because they're already tight against the cap. You got basically 40 mil with Bosh and Wade. Chalmers is getting, paid 8 mil?
Yes.
Then you got Dang getting paid 6 mil. So, I mean, you can only fit so much under that cap when you got 2 guys getting paid 20 mil. So, I mean,
I think the interesting thing will be... The interesting thing with me will be that, he signed, obviously Pat Riley's going to want to keep him in Miami.
Yeah.
He's been there since he got drafted. He got Bosh and LeBron to Miami. He didn't leave. So Pat Riley probably wants him to stay there. But, you look at it and they have Bosh under contract, like you said. Whiteside's there. He's a good rebounder. Deng's under contract, but I'm not sure if there's an option or not in there. It's wacky because of how fast Miami signed people after LeBron went to Cleveland. They just kind of frenzied, grabbed like Danny Granger off the free agent market just for an insurance policy. The interesting thing, I think, will be, which creates a real possibility for Wade to leave Miami, is Goran Dragic.
Yeah.
I don't think Pat Riley would give up, whatever he gave up player-wise. I don't think it was really a big package. But the picks to give up for Goran Dragic to have him for a year and did not even make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a long-term... I believe that there was a long-term plan there with Pat Riley to get him in Miami, be able to give him a 5-year deal when everyone else gave him a 4 and keep him there. So that throws a real hitch in it and a real curveball that could legitimately mean Wade leaving Miami.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, would you rather have Dragic for 5 years or Wade for 3 years? And how many years are going to be good? You know what I mean? Because he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, and it would be cheaper to keep Dragic as well. So it makes sense to let Wade walk, whereas that's why I'm thinking it'd be better for Wade to opt in his final year, get paid 16 mil, which is phenomenal, and then by the time you're after that year, the cap's going to be raising. So because Miami's wants him to do this. Miami wants him to go out on the free agent market because no one's going to be wanting to pay Wade 16 mil, and then Miami's going to come back and be like, hey, here's 12 mil. Like, if Wade does that, it only helps out Miami.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right, next, we have our favorite NBA player of all time, Allen Iverson. He's talking again. He's got the answer to every question. And he said this statement that if a team had him, Shaq, and Jordan, no matter who else was on that team, they would go 82-0. And yeah, it sounds.
I don't know about that guy.
It sounds a little crazy, but you can look at it and be like, well, you got Iverson, who took a team in 2001 for the Sixers with no help other than Mutombo to the finals, and then you got Shaq and Jordan alongside you, and you're kind of looking at it and you're like, that actually kind of makes a little sense.
Yeah.
But it would be really hard to do because then you just got Hack-a-Shaq the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
But that question got me thinking of the best team of all time. And who exactly would be on that team?
Really?
Yeah, so I work in a deli. I'm at Super Fresh, right? So I got some guys in there who like sports as well, and it was just dead today. So we started talking about it, and there were some good names thrown around. And I wanted to ask you that same question. Who would be your starting five on the best team of all time? Your all-time team.
Trying to think. All right. Obviously, I'm starting with the best player ever, Michael Jordan.
He would be your shooting guard, right? Yeah.
Yeah, shooting guard. Then I would go for Kevin Durant at the 3.
All right. That's a solid pick.
I would like the ability to have Jordan drive, and if he didn't have it, have KD to knock down the shot. So then I'd have Jordan, KD. I'd probably go Shaq. Best center of all time, in my opinion. Maybe Bill Russell's ahead of him, but that's a completely different era. And Wilt, those are different era guys. Then for power forward, wow.
Yeah, we were talking today in the deli, and we figured power forward center was probably interchangeable. Like, you can't pick a center.
Yeah.
Like you got to pick a guy who played power forward during his career, but like played center as well. Like, he could be interchangeable. You can't say like Kareem for power forward because he never played power forward.
Yeah, he never played power forward. I'd have to see. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck between going between Kevin Garnett and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, there's some quality names right there.
Yeah, I mean, I like how much Rodman rebounds, but KG can do just as much rebounding and put in his 10, 15, 20 a game. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably go Kevin Garnett at the 4.
Who was your 4? Who was your point guard again? Did you say point guard or?
I didn't get to that yet, Tim.
All right, I wasn't sure. I'm writing it down so I can put it on the
Yeah.
website, and then I'm trying to get people to
Comment.
yeah
I'd have to
give
go,
their team.
If I was building this, in all honesty, this is a super team.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to build this, the one point guard of all time I would go with to just run the show of all these guys would be John Stockton.
Oh well, you took my point guard. All right, so right now your 5 is yeah, it's
to run that offense.
that's exactly what I was saying in the deli today. I said, listen, if I'm making an all-time team, I need someone to pass the ball, and why not pick the best passer of all time, Stockton?
Yeah.
So your team's Stockton, Jordan, Durant, Garnett, and Shaq.
Yep.
All right, let's see who I'll take. Since you took Stockton, I'll take Magic at point guard. 2 guards tough.
Yeah.
Power forward. Give me the Admiral, David Robinson.
Ooh, good call.
I'll take Larry Bird at small forward. Let's see. Let me get a scoring center. I'll take Abdul-Jabbar. It was between him or Elijah Wan, but I need scoring at my center position because I don't got it. at my power forward position. I was gonna take Karl Malone, but I just love the Admiral.
Yeah.
And shooting guard. Whew. This is tough. There's not a lot of great shooting guards out there. It seems like most of the great players played small forward. A lot of good small forwards out there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, after Jordan, you kind of take a little step down to shooting guard. I want to take Kobe, but at the same time, I don't. I got too many Lakers on this list.
And then you got the one Celtic. They're all gonna beat up on him.
Yeah, I got the one and the one Spur.
And the one Spur.
Yeah, I'll take Kobe Bryant. Try not to repeat your list. All right, so my team's Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, David Robinson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It's a solid team.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong when you go with all-time players, but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have to try this. I'm gonna have to go on 2K tonight and record the video and like make these teams.
I just have a demo game.
Yeah, I'll do a demo game and I'll figure out. I'll either send it to you or I'll figure out how to get it on the website so everybody can
Yeah,
watch it.
just you could actually just upload that to YouTube because it's a video.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
yeah.
My team is gonna wreck your team.
Man, I had Jordan and Durant.
All right, make sure you get each player in their prime though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'll give you Jordan over. Jordan's gonna take over Kobe, no doubt.
I'll even give you the young Afro Kobe with the good Achilles and good feet and everything.
Give me the 99 overall Kobe.
Yeah, you got it.
I'll say something though. I think I got you power forward, and I got you at power forward, and then I probably got you at center. I mean, if you're going up for a board, I'll give you Shaq, but you can't stop that hook shot by Kareem.
Oh yeah. See, I would if I'm looking at this, I'm taking Shaq over Abdul-Jabbar, but I'm giving you Magic over Stockton.
Yeah, mainly because Magic will take Stockton to the hole every time.
Oh yeah. It's just a matter that if he can get past Shaq and Garnett.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He just got to go up and then kick it out to Bird. Bird will hit the shot.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna upload
Problem
these.
is you got team chemistry issues.
Yeah, I got 3 Lakers, so as long as I feel like Larry Bird can play with anyone. David Robinson don't care. David Robinson just is here to play, and he'll wreck Garnett.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna put these on the website, and then you guys can send it in. We have the thing on the website. It says "Be a part of Monday Night Lights." Just put your name, put your team in there. It'll send me an email, and then I'll put them on the website, and we can get a vote going on the best team. So, I think right now it's a good list. Maybe Lewis can be our 2K guy. We'll just put the teams in for everyone, and then the winner keeps moving on. We'll make like a bracket or whatever.
Yeah.
We can have we can have the Monday Night Lights all-time teams.
All-time team bracket.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't have to repeat players, but you can if you want. I think it'd be better if you didn't. I mean, hey, I'll change my team up a little. I'll give you guys some players because I can get some good guys in there that I can get a whole new team right now and still feel confident about it.
All right. And it's all good because 2K made like 8 Michael Jordans, so it's all good.
Yeah, you have to pick your Jordan. What Jordan do you want? I'll take baseball Jordan.
See, I was surprised. I was looking at it, and obviously, it depends what position you identify him as, whether they list him as a point guard or a shooting guard. But I'm like thinking about 2K now. I'm surprised you didn't take Iverson at shooting guard over Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of Iverson, I think of more of a point guard. So.
Yeah, that's the way I think of him too.
Yeah.
Because bringing the ball up the court and crossing up Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
But
exactly. That's why I didn't want to.
Depends on how they list him.
Yeah, I didn't want to pick him at shooting guard because he's sometimes listed as that, but I just see him more as a point guard. So I figured I wouldn't go with that. But All right, so yeah, send in your teams. We can get this going. I'll just put a link or a new tab on there. It'll say all time teams, and you can just put your name in there. I'll put your name, and then you can put your all time team. We can get maybe a vote going. Lewis can play 2K. We'll get records up there. We can have a whole new thing. But right now we're going to talk about Lewis's favorite subject at the moment, which is the Stanley Cup Finals, which the Rangers are not in.
That stings, Tim. That stings.
It's all right. I got to get a shot in. My team didn't make the playoffs, so I figured I'd have to give a shot at the Rangers. So yeah, they were able to force a Game 7 after they looked dead in the water, and then they were just did not do the trick in Game 7. No one showed up other than Lundqvist. After Lundqvist was getting a bunch of crap for not showing up in the first 4 games, he showed up in the last 2, but the scoring did not. What do you think, as you're a Rangers fan, you watched every game?
Yeah.
I tried to watch it, but it was tough. Do you think the Rangers lost the series or the Lightning won the series?
I think the Lightning won the series, to be fair. I mean, I think, Bishop showed up when he needed to. I mean, went back to the Garden 2-2. You got to take one because then the Rangers have a chance to win one of 2 games to move on. And Bishop goes in Game 5, pitches, throws out a shutout. Then, I mean, you could tell he kind of laid back a little bit in Game 6 and then gave up, 5 goals and they pulled him. But then, do or die Game 7 and the guy shows up again. And the defense played harder than the Rangers defense did. Granted, McDonough was playing hurt.
Yeah.
But, and Tampa, that triplets line just ripped us apart. We didn't have an answer for that at all. So, I mean, they definitely won. They deserve to move on. It just hurts.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I've faced it a lot with the Flyers. They were before 2 years ago, they were in the playoffs every year. And every year it was just filled with disappointment after disappointment. So, get used to it, because that's how it goes.
Oh, yeah. I've come to the fact that we're probably going to end up like the Phillies, just without winning. We made it to the final. Now we lost in the Eastern Conference Final. Mm-hmm. Next year we'll lose in the second round, then the first round, then we'll be out for 10 years.
Yeah, that's just how hockey works. But like you were saying, the Ben Bishop, they always say, goalie's going to win you the series. He didn't have to show up for 7 games. He showed up for 4 and won those 4 games. And the triplets line, phenomenal. I did not see that. Did not see them doing that in even during the regular season. You see that line, you're just like, all right, that's a serviceable third line, and they just killed it.
Yeah.
And looking at who they're facing in the finals,
there was no answer for it. Rangers point.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. Not really off topic, but not finals related. Do you think it was worth giving up Duclair to get Yandel?
I think it was. I mean, Duclair, the Rangers have seen it plenty of times where a guy comes up, has a little bit of success, and then falls off, and then he ends up with you, and his name is Michael Del Zotto. But they've seen it a lot where they come up from the AHL and play really well. We traded Scott Gomez, who was out of his prime, for Ryan McDonough. So they've seen it come up and work well. They've also seen it come up and, like I said, be it Del Zotto, where it's just a flash in the pan. They have one good year and then fall off. So I think, you traded Duclair for him and picks, and I think it was a smart move. You have a lot of young offensive guys now with Kreider, Kevin Hayes. If they could bring back Hagelin, they have Zuccarello. So they have a lot of young guys that can, make sure the Rangers, not that they won't skip a beat. They won't, if Nash were to suddenly retire, they're not winning the East.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a good young team behind their all-stars, to the point where, I think Duclair became expendable when Kevin Hayes started playing as well as he did. So I think you bring in Yandel, and they played him with with Mark Stahl. So, two guys, Yandel's in his prime, Mark Stahl's under contract, and then, you have McDonough and Girardi ahead of them. And you'll look at it, and the St. Louis contract comes off the books after, now, we're done. And Dan Boyle is next year. So there's going to be plenty of money after next season when Yandel's contract's up to sign him. So I think they'll have him long term, unlike what a lot of people thought at the time of the trade. And like I said, the way Kevin Hayes played, it made Duclair expendable. So I think it was a smart move still.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. You don't want to trade a young promising talent, but when you have young promising talent already playing at NHL level, it's not like he becomes expendable at that point. So, the Lightning are facing the Blackhawks in the finals, and the Blackhawks decided they wanted to show up in the last two games and took over the Ducks. And really, I was shocked because watching those games, I saw the Ducks as the better team. But experience and when they've been there, they didn't even seem phased in Game 7. They just knew what they had to do, and they did it.
Yeah.
All around. Just Corey Crawford. He's 40 shots? And he was like, I've done this before. It's no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. I think Taves had the best press conference after Game 7 when he was just like, at this point, this team's at its point where we don't care where we are as long as we get in. The Western Conference is tough. We're going to have a tough first-round matchup regardless, whether we're the 1 seed or the 8 seed. So, as long as we get in, we know that we can beat any team. So, and I think a lot of people saw this coming when Patrick Kane got healthy in time for the playoffs and their teams back together.
Mm-hmm.
But good. Obviously, a good playoff run from them. They're in the Cup final, but I wasn't as surprised with them being in it as I was with, say, the Lightning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Because you look at both teams, they weren't necessarily the favorites to make the final, but then you look at them both making runs and you see the Lightning, they're a young, exciting team. They're doing a lot of things well, but I don't think they can make it because they lack experience. Whereas the Blackhawks, they're making a run, and you're looking at them going, oh, they've been here before. They got Hossa, Taves, Kane, Crawford, all guys that have been there before, Keith and Seabrook, and you're like, hey, they can make a run, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So when they started making the run, you just knew, there goes the Blackhawks again. They're just same core, and they're just doing what they got to do.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how you see both teams with those dynamics. Like Lightning, they were making a run. It was surprising because they're a new team. The Blackhawks making a run. Same old stuff.
Yeah.
Who would you give the upper hand to in the series?
See, this is interesting because, I want to be biased, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be happy with either result because ex-Rangers are winning.
Yeah.
But I'd probably give the upper hand to Chicago. They're used to it. Like you said, Taves, Kane, Hossa, Seabrook, Duncan Keith, name them, they've been there before. And they've won before. Everybody but, I'm pretty sure Brad Richards, even though he won with Tampa, has won in the last 5 years. So, I think, the Stanley Cup final is a whole different animal than, a conference final or a second or first round playoff game because there's more travel to it. Not as much as, say, the Rangers had to do last year going from New York to Los Angeles. But, there is a travel aspect to it where you got to prepare maybe not as much on the ice and more just in the film room. And Chicago has been there before. And, I honestly think Tampa has all of 2 players that were in the Cup final, and that's Boyle and Strawman.
Yeah.
So I think I give Chicago the advantage, like we said, because they've been there before and they know what they have to do to win. So.
Yeah, obviously the Blackhawks have the experience advantage, but looking like deeper, trying to look in the numbers. I mean, obviously experience is the main thing, and that's why the Blackhawks are the favorites. But I look at the Blackhawks defense, and obviously I believe the Rangers have a deeper defense. Like they have 5 top guys, and
Yeah.
they have Girardi, McDonough, Yandel, Mark Stahl, and Boyle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Boyle.
And then who's their 6th defenseman? I don't even know.
Kevin Klein.
Kevin Klein, who is a third line defenseman. So,
It's
but
better than Delzada.
yeah, I mean, not for the Flyers this year, but
Oh, yeah.
but they have 5 guys who could play top line on defense, and I believe they probably get the best defensive lineup in the league. And then you look at the Blackhawks; they got Keith and Seabrook, and then after that you kind of like take a step down because they lost Letty. They got Yalmerson, Oduya. So you see guys that like you have 2 top guys instead of 5 top guys, and Lightning were able to really dominate the Rangers with 5 top guys.
Yeah.
And like they should be able to dominate against the Blackhawks because you're not going to be able to keep Keith and Seabrook out there the entire time.
Yeah.
So I would probably say the Lightning have an advantage there. But at the same time, you look at the Blackhawks offense and the Rangers defense, and you kind of see it could go both ways. Like, I think it'll be a lot of scoring. It's going to be whatever goaltender can stop the most scoring chances. As simple as that sounds, that's what it comes down to, because both offenses are better than the defense.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's definitely what it's going to come down to, and I think that's what makes me think, Tampa might have a bit of an edge, is that, Bishop's 6'7", so 6'9" on skates.
Yeah.
I mean, dude's huge. I mean, that's best way to put it. The dude is huge.
Yeah.
And you could tell in the Rangers series, he would get to pucks that, an average-sized goalie wouldn't get to.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an X factor, especially because Crawford is not as good as when they made, the Cup run, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be interesting.
I was saying the same thing, though, and then I watched that Game 7, and Crawford was just like, you know what, it's time. I'm ready.
Yeah, I've been a doubter of Crawford for a while. You know, like this offseason when Brodeur was a free agent, I was like, Chicago, bring him in.
Yeah, because he just...
starting Corey Crawford right now.
Exactly. But, hey, he keeps answering the call when he's needed.
Yeah.
So, I think it'll be
Seems the entire team's MO is just when you're needed, answer the call.
Exactly. Just step up for big games. I think it's going to be a very exciting series, just like the NBA Finals. I mean, how could it not? It's the Stanley Cup Finals, but they're just 2 very exciting teams to watch. Like, the Rangers, not that exciting to watch, maybe because I can't stand them, but they're just going to do what they got to do.
They're not exciting.
Yeah.
They just...
do
their thing.
They'll win the battles on the boards. They're not very flashy. They're just going to crash the net, take shots. That's the Rangers. But watching the Lightning, they're just a young, exciting, fast team. And the Blackhawks, they can really, really handle the puck. With Kane, Taves, Hossa, their defensemen Keith and Seabrook, they got great shots. So I think it'll be a great series. But I'm taking the Lightning, mainly because I hate the Blackhawks. Now, see, if the Rangers made it, I'd be on Blackhawks. But
yeah, this is the thing. Like I said, I've been tossing this back and forth of like who in my heart I want to win, just because there's so many ex-Rangers that it's like who were my favorite ones that are in this series. And I thought about it, and I came down to this: is that the reason we made the Cup is because we were able to put pucks in the net against Montreal and against Pittsburgh.
yeah,
So, and the biggest factors for it were Brad Richards and Danny Carcillo, who are both playing for Chicago.
Yeah.
So more power to them.
yeah. I mean, I was looking at it like obviously I like former Flyers to win, and I love Matt Carl, big fan of him. I got a signed puck by him. Coburn, he's whatever. and then you got Tiemann for the Blackhawks. And then looking at it, you were just like, oh, like Tiemann, he was great here. We want him to win a ring, but no, I'm fine with him not winning a ring if that means the Lightning winning, because I'm just tired of the Blackhawks. Maybe if it was like the 2012 team when they won their second cup, I'd be like, all right, you know what, I'll give it to Tiemann, but nah, not 3. I'm tired of this.
Stop winning.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna switch to a little MLB now, and we're gonna go over the power rankings. At 1, we got the Royals at 28 and 15. 2, the Cardinals at 28 and 16. 3 is the Nationals, who jumped up from out of the top 5 at 26 and 18. The Tigers at 26 and 19. The Astros at 29 and 16. And then we're gonna out of the top 5. Obviously, we got to give a shout out to the Mets and the Phillies. The Mets are at 12th. They're at 24 and 21, and the Phillies moved up 3 spots. They're now 19 and 27 on the year. I don't think it's not counting the loss today though. So I think we're 19 and 28 now because we got that loss to Colorado.
Yeah. Coming off the sweep by us too. So.
Hey, you know what? I had a bet with my dad. I knew they weren't going to be that good, so if I can get a free meal out of the Phillies sucking, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. Free meal.
Yeah.
I think these all match up pretty well. I mean, I think the Royals have been good all year. The Cardinals are good year after year.
Yeah.
You know, the Nationals are just finally healthy, and they get healthy and then they lose Strasburg, so I'm contradicting myself there. But they're scoring more. I mean, Harper's hitting like a home run every 3 at bats or something, it seems like. I have him in fantasy, so I love having him. The Tigers have been hot. I mean, I hate to say I called it, but when we were at school, I kind of called it. I said, Cabrera will be better because he has Cespedes with him too now, just like when he had Fielder with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's starting to show up now. And, I mean, the Astros are looking like the real deal.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to look at their pitching staff. Last year, they just burst on the scene with Keuchel, McHugh. Feldman's now hurt, so that's going to hurt them a little. But then they call up, Lance McCullers, the 21-year-old with command issues, and then all of a sudden he comes up here and is striking guys out. He doesn't look like he has command issues at all. So I know he's probably not good with Mets fans because he's wearing the Batman spikes, but
yeah.
But hey, I mean,
the
Astros are doing the next man in kind of thing that the Seahawks are doing in the NFL, and the guys are rallying around it, and they're all for it. So they're playing really well. Can they keep it up? Who knows? I mean, they are still a young team, but they're fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, they're really fun to watch, especially when Keuchel pitches and has that beard.
Oh, that beard's awesome. That's what I'm going for, the Keuchel beard. So
I didn't realize they gave it to him on MLB 15, and then I played against the Astros, and he just had it. I was like, wow, I need to trade for him now.
Hey, dude, fear the beard, right?
Yeah. I was playing against the Giants, which is why I felt the need to get
him.
Oh,
nice. You got to replace the beard with Brian Wilson.
I brought him back.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, the Cardinals. I was looking at them because Matt Adams, their starting first baseman, he's hurt for 4 months now.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see if the Cardinals would make a trade for the guy who only hits when he plays the Cardinals, my boy, Philadelphia's boy, Ryan Howard. And I was kind of looking at it. I mean, if the Phillies eat all the money, that's the only way they would do it. And then probably not get a great prospect for it. But if you were the Cardinals, is it worth it?
I mean, with Adams being out 4 months, I think you have to look at a replacement. I don't know if he's the guy, but, you look at a team like the Cardinals, obviously they have for the last 10 years, it seems like a good chance to go to the World Series. So he can play again if you were to make it there and he could DH. But I think, it would be a good move, like you said, if they can get Philly to eat a good portion of the contract. You're not getting much from them in return, because they made some trades in the offseason, got Hayward, made the trade last year to get Lackey. So, I mean, their farm system's still deep, but not as deep as it was. I think it's a good move from a Philly standpoint because you get rid of him and can play other guys. And I think it's a good move from a Cardinals standpoint because it's, a 4-month deal. If they can get, like I said, they can get Philly to eat a lot of it, I think it's a good deal for the Cardinals because if he hits, you have, the pop in your lineup that you lose for 4 months with Adams. I mean, if he doesn't hit, you gave up, a double-A guy who might make it to the majors. I think if they can keep under control what prospect they give up, it's a great deal for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because obviously you're a Mets guy, you would have an unbiased opinion on it. Me, being a Phillies fan, I'm like, yes, eat all the money, trade him to the Cardinals. Because the way I look at it is it opens up a spot for Ruff, and I think he should be playing every day. Because obviously you're not going to win anything this year. So I was thinking you eat Ryan Howard's whole contract, all of it, because why not? That's the only way you're going to be able to move him. You trade him to the Mets the Cardinals for a mid-level guy who's probably would come to the Philly system and be a top 20 guy because the system's terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no matter what player you get, he has a chance to make the majors because we don't have a good farm system. So, and the Cardinals system is just so deep that they're willing to part with a guy, a double-A starter, who has a chance to make the Phillies rotation as a 4-5 guy. I mean, not this year, but down the line. So, I mean, yes, it makes sense for the Cardinals as well because if Howard's not hitting after 4 months or how many time they give him, they could just be like, all right, well, we don't have to pay you anything, so we'll just release you.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be on for any money at all, so it just makes too much sense, I feel. And then, I mean, Ashley coming in at left field, I feel like there's moves to be made anyway, so I think there's a storm coming in Philly, and I think this is the calm before it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be an exciting June and July for the Phillies to see who ends up where.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a great move from a Philly standpoint as well because, like you said, you can either play Ruff there or, it's been talked about for a while moving Franco to first.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of options out there as long as you can get rid of Howard. And that opens up a hole that, that's the thing. I mean, you're paying the guy anyway if you're going to trade him, which is the crappy part about it. But on the same hand, like I said, he's not taking up space on your everyday lineup because you feel obligated to play him because he's getting $25 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
now we're going to switch to a little NFL. It'll be our last segment before we end the show. Just OTAs. And I was watching Sports Nation the other day, and they were talking about the meaning of OTAs. And there was, optional training, and then it's, organized training. But really, it's optional to most players. Do you even see a point to OTAs anymore? What are there's really no point. I mean,
I don't see a major point to them.
Yeah.
I mean, you look every year, someone gets hurt in them. This year it was Ryan Clady. 2 years ago it was Macklin. Some year someone seems to get hurt during OTAs. I think it's a good proving ground for the rookies to get used to playing against some NFL players. But I think something has to be done, about how much the players do at OTAs. Because, this is becoming too regular of a thing with the injuries at OTAs when they don't necessarily have to be there.
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like most of the guys come in just not ready, not in football shape, and then that's how they get hurt. So, I feel like you need them because just to get guys in shape, but the amount of guys that get hurt, like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just seems like it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah,
But
quarterback, it's perfectly worth going. You wear the red jersey. Who cares? But
exactly, you're just going to
other
throw some balls
players,
around. Yeah,
yeah, other players, like you said, like we said, it keeps happening every year where it's someone.
hmm
You know, it almost never fails, as bad as it sounds.
yeah. It's just like
Um,
spring training and baseball injuries.
yeah, and I think the other thing is people make too much of a thing out of it too. I mean, it's whatever it stands for, but a lot of players have it in their contract where they don't have to show up if they
Yeah,
don't want to. It pretty much becomes optional, and you look, and like we said, it's optional, but yet the media makes a big deal that a guy like Adrian Peterson isn't there, with all the media circus around him this
yeah,
year. So, you know, OTAs are at a point where it's like, the team leaders will be there year in and year out to set an example. You know, okay, rookie, this is what the NFL is all about. This you have to conduct yourself. But I don't think the veterans should be going, that hard. I think they should, be in the gym, running, doing cardio, whatever, but not running any drills because I don't see a real point in it.
yeah,
And then if you do that and have the vets just kind of take a back seat and say, okay, wait till mini camp and training camp, then you're giving more of an opportunity to undrafted guys.
yeah,
A guy that goes undrafted can then, other than obviously like a Lael Collins with his situation, but, has the chance to prove himself and say, okay, this is what I'm all about. Yeah, I'm not playing against, let's say in a Giants situation, I'm not blocking Pierre Paul or I'm not trying to get around, Pugh, but this is still what I'm all about.
yeah. It should just. I feel like they should just extend the rookie camp, and
Yeah,
it should be called rookie camp, and then just extend it. Like it should be an invite to veterans, not really just like because they. I mean, they're gonna show up if they want to or not. So just make it a extend a rookie camp.
yeah, yeah. Don't have the vets doing anything because then you run a chance of hurting the present of your team. You know, as bad as it sounds, think of it from your aspect. If it were to pop up on Sports Center that Aguilar did something to his ACL and he was out for the year, you'd be upset because he was your first round pick, but you have 15 years with him still, hopefully.
Yeah.
But if it were to come up that DeMarco tore his ACL because he was at OTAs, you'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. So talking about OTAs, obviously it's way too early to think about the season, but here at Monday Night Lights, we like to do things really early. So we're going to do our way too early season predictions and preview. So we're going to go through each division and we're going to pick the winner of the division. We're not going to go Super Bowl yet because that's really early. We're just going to see.
Really early.
We're just going to look who we like at in each division. Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, and my boy Bruce Arians. I like what they're doing there. If Palmer can stay healthy, it make too much sense to me. If they can just get somewhat of a running game, I feel like
Yeah.
if they can get somewhat of a running game, I think they win that division easily last year. They finished one game behind Seattle. They didn't have a running game. Palmer got hurt towards the end of the year. So, and the defense, you got shut down defense. No doubt
Yeah.
about it. Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, because they got Calais Campbell. The defense is just one of the best, if not the best, in the NFC. So I like them if Palmer can stay healthy. If Palmer stays healthy, I think they beat Seattle. If they can also pick up a running game and Palmer doesn't stay healthy, I still think they can eclipse Seattle.
Yeah. I think the only thing that worries me with them is that, they didn't lose much personnel at all on defense, but they did lose Bowles, their D coordinator, to the Jets.
Yeah.
So I worry that might hurt them a bit, which is why I'm going with I'd go with the safe pick in Seattle.
Yeah. It's not fun to be safe.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to go to the NFC South, or the NFC South. Oh, that was weird. The division of losing teams, as Carolina won it last year with a 7-8-1 record. Who do you like this year in the division?
See, this one I had to think about because it was an interesting. Like you said, the teams were bad last year. One team had to make it. But I think if I had to pick one team to make it, and this is gonna probably shock a lot of people, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay.
Wow.
I think with Vincent Jackson, they were a quarterback away from contending in that division because it was so bad. Now they got a quarterback, and obviously the Saints will probably be better, the Panthers will be better, but something about Winston, he's a very competitive guy, so I can see him making a major difference more than just his stats on the field. Changing the culture there and making them winners. So I could see them pulling it off.
Yeah, he's a winner. That's all he does is win. And Lovie Smith is going to work with that defense. The defense actually wasn't terrible last year. They weren't good, but they weren't terrible. So I feel like they could do something. I don't see them winning the division. Maybe 6 wins I'll give them. I like Carolina, personally. I feel they didn't really get any worse. But they didn't get any better. I didn't really feel anyone in the division got any better. Tampa Bay probably got better, but not good enough to eclipse Carolina. I feel like Carolina kept the team they have. They still got a great defense. Benjamin really came on last year. He's just going to keep getting bigger and stronger. Newton's just going to keep getting better. So I feel like Carolina will win the division. I think in any other division, they don't win it.
Oh, yeah, no. I think the interesting thing will be is how the teams handle playing the Saints, because they're set up to be bad, but they could have games where they play really well because they have Drew Brees.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the interesting thing is going to be how teams play against them. It's a possibility that Tampa could go either 1-1 or 2-0, and Carolina could go 0-2 against them.
Very true.
And that could be a huge factor down the line of we handled the Saints better. So now not only we have the division record, but we have either 1 or 2 more wins than you. So
yeah, I agree. The NFC North. You think discount double check? You think there's going to be a new team?
I think there's going to be a new team. I honestly do. I think I'd have to go with this one's interesting because I couldn't narrow it down between the two I got it down to, and neither of which are Green Bay. If Peterson plays for the Vikings, it's going to be either them or Detroit, in my opinion, taking the division. I think Bridgewater played well, and you hear it all the time, a rookie quarterback, if they have a run game, gets exponentially better. It doesn't get much better than Peterson if he's playing well. And the fact that Bridgewater was good with Jerick McKinnon and Matt Asiata, So, yeah, Peterson, I think it could be a legitimate game changer for them. He's not gonna, have the stats that he did 3 years ago. He's old. He's older now. But I think if he's playing and he has his head in it and not just I'm gonna play for 8 weeks, get my trade value up so they can deal me, which doesn't look likely anyway. But if he plays for the Vikings, I think it's going to be, like I said, either them or Detroit. And after Detroit has Megatron, who no one can cover. So, so I think it comes down to those two for the division if Peterson plays. If he doesn't play, then Detroit, I think, wins it by a couple of games.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I was looking at Minnesota, and they can be a surprise team if they figure out the Peterson saga. I mean, that might be hanging over their heads and could affect them. But if they figure it out, they can make the playoffs. I mean, they got 7 wins last year. No one saw that. So,
yeah.
but Green Bay, I just see them, no doubt, winning the division. They didn't get any worse. They picked up a safety in the draft who I think was a very good value at the 30th pick. I think it was, right? It was 30th pick or something like that?
Yeah, it was low.
Yeah.
I think it was like
So towards the end of this first round, they got very good value in him. I think Clinton Dix is going to continue to get better. The offense is just going to be what the offense is with around Aaron Rodgers and Eddie Lacy. So I feel like they'll win the division again. They're probably my favorite in the NFC, but don't sleep on Detroit. I mean, if they can get, yeah, they lost Sue, but they also lost how many penalties, right? So
yeah, and they added Nada, so it's not like they took.
Very good veteran to add. The NFC East, our favorite division. Who do you like in there?
We're gonna go at it on this one. I'm taking the Giants. I'm gonna be a homer here. I think Eli is in his contract year. He always seems to play well when he's going for money, which sucks because it kills the Giants' cap every year. But I think you have Eli, who has a year now in Ben McAdoo's system. Obviously, Odell Beckham Jr. You get Victor Cruz back. You have Larry Donnell. And, Ruben Randall can catch his fair share of passes. He's not Beckham or Cruz, but he can catch his fair share. And then, the defense, adding Spagnuolo back, I think is going to be, a change in pace for the Giants. You look, obviously, Pierre-Paul, he's got to play better, because if he doesn't play better, he's going to be stuck on the Giants because no one else will pay him. Beason's a good leader. Hursley played a lot better once he became the regular starter. The secondary still looks shaky at safety, but we do have Prince Amukamara and DRC. And I think another factor, as bad as it sounds, is Matthias Kiwanuka had not played well for the last 3 years, and we cut him. We finally cut him. So I think, him not taking up snaps that other players could be playing is going to be big. You look at a guy like Double O, as I've gotten used to calling him, or Digizua, is going to get more snaps this year than had he been drafted by the Giants last year, and Kiwanuka was still there. So, if he plays well, he's, a good guy to put alongside Pierre-Paul. If he doesn't, then we have a bigger sample size to determine he might not be what we thought we were drafting. So, and obviously adding Landon Collins and, and there's talk of, we were talking about late free agent signings with Beatty tearing his pec or something that he tore, and they're talking to Jake Long. So I think this could be the Giants' year to bounce back. Plus, it's 4 years, Tim. We're due.
Yeah, that's what you've been saying this past year. It's 4th year. It's our year. I do think the
Fourth year. We're
Giants
due.
will improve from 6 wins. I do not see them making the playoffs. I don't think the defense is up to it. Their secondary just doesn't do anything for me. And we've learned one thing Eagles fans have, that if you don't have a secondary, you ain't going anywhere. I'm going to pick the Eagles for the division, mainly because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a little biased maybe. But I just think what they added, like they didn't just add great player or good players. They added good players from the team in their division who beat them last year.
Yeah.
I just think looking at you were able to get rid of McCoy, who was just a talker and didn't fit the system with the run game. He bounced. We just need a straight ahead runner. We got rid of him, able to pick up a very solid inside linebacker who he won Rookie of the Year his first year, tore his ACL, but ACL injuries are nothing anymore. Then you are able to sign DeMarco Murray for less money than McCoy got, and I think he is a great straight ahead runner. Ryan Matthews, great straight ahead runner. They'll split time. Murray's not going to get 321 carries again. Chip won't allow it. Bradford, I
Yeah.
think, is a very serviceable quarterback as long as he's able to come back and stay healthy. He has a higher completion percentage than Foles ever had for a career, and that's all he needs to do. Just make short passes, complete them. You got speedy guys in Aguilar and Huff, and then you got guys with strong hands, and they're just going to catch the ball in Cooper and Miles Austin. And they're also very good blocking receivers, which fit the system. I think the defense got better with Maxwell. Yeah, you overpaid for him, but that's what you're going to do with the top corner on the market. You're going to overpay. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Malcolm Jenkins, I think, very good safety. He played really well last year. They asked him to do a little too much because they didn't had Nate Allen on the other side, so that was tough for him. But I think you got Thurman the third who can play slot corner. You got Boykin, and they're going to try both as safety. They really like Earl Wolf, and if they like Earl Wolf, I like Earl Wolf. And the defensive line was able to pressure the quarterback really well. Offensive line, solid. I think it was the second best in the league last year. So just looking at what they added was better than what they subtracted.
Yeah.
I just feel they should be able to eclipse Dallas because Dallas didn't really do anything surprising in the offseason. I mean, other than Darren McFadden, but I don't really see him as a replacement for Murray. Now we'll switch to the AFC, and with the AFC East, who do you like there, Lewis?
That one is interesting because I think, and obviously we're doing this from right now. We don't know what's going to happen with Brady. I'm under the assumption he's going to serve some sort of suspension. So I think all things considered, and my brother and my cousin are going to love this when they listen to it. I'm taking the Jets in this division. I think they added too much for a quarterback to be able to sink the whole thing. Quarterback's a big deal. But I mean, Gino, he's not a superstar by any means, but he's got the arm talent to be able to get it to Marshall, to be able to get it to Decker. Just let him get it in their area and then let them do what they've been doing for their whole careers and go up, get it, and make plays. And I mean, and that defense is loaded. So I don't see any reason why the Jets, if, like we said, under what we're working with now, that Brady's out for 4 games, that they don't win the division. I see the Jets taking this one.
Yeah, you like your surprise picks so far. I think that division's going to be very good. I think the division will ruin itself. I don't think the Jets are going to win it. I think Geno Smith just doesn't. He's not good. I think Bryce Petty will win the job. Halfway.
Really?
I think he'll win it halfway through the season because
Okay.
Geno's going to struggle, and then the fans are going to call for it, and then I feel like the Jets aren't going to be that good at that point, so they're just going to be like, all right, whatever, and they're just going to throw him out there. I like Miami. I like Buffalo. I think those two are going to be fighting for a wild card spot, but I got to go with the Patriots winning it again.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Brady misses 4 games, I think Garoppolo can lead him to 2 wins. I think he's a very serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, and they probably know what they're doing too. I mean, they've been through this with when Brady tore the ACL. So
Exactly.
with Matt Cass.
Exactly. And
So,
then Matt Castle
I see it happening.
got an amazing deal because he had one good year.
Yeah.
AFC North. Very tough division to play in. Who do you like
Yeah.
there? They had 3 teams in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, out of those 3 teams, you take Pittsburgh right out of it because they lost so many pieces on defense that there's no way they can compete for the top. So that leaves Cincinnati and Baltimore. I'm going to have to go with Baltimore. I think Timmy Jernigan, who's now a second-year player out of Florida State, played really well against, in the time that he got. Obviously, he was sitting behind Nada last year.
Mm-hmm.
He played well in the time he got. Now he's starting full-time. So I don't think, it'll be a bit of a downgrade at the beginning, but I think he'll play up to, his potential. Terrell Suggs is still there. And that defense is still the Baltimore defense. It's not as frightening as it was a couple of years back, but it's still the Baltimore defense. And I think you have Joe Flacco, who's not elite, but I'd put him top 10, top 15. And you don't have the circus surrounding your running back this year that you had last year.
Yeah, I would probably say Baltimore as well. Just because what you said, Pittsburgh lost guys. Cincinnati, I don't think they're that good. I mean, they're good, but I think Baltimore is going to eclipse them. Even though they lost Torrey Smith, I still think they're a very good offensive team.
Well, they added Perryman.
Yeah, exactly, and they still have Steve Smith.
Yeah.
So, I was going to pick Cleveland if they kept Hoyer. I really think Cleveland, with 2 strong rookie running backs last year, they were going to keep getting better. Defense really surprising last year. They were just a tough team to play. So I really liked them if they kept Hoyer or added a quarterback better than Manziel. But right now it looks like they're sticking with Manziel, so I don't see them doing anything. I'm going with Baltimore.
It even gets worse. I read a thing today. They're rolling with McCown until Manziel can take the job from him.
So they got McCown, they have Manziel and Connor Shaw. That's 3 quarterbacks.
And Thad Lewis.
I forget. How could I forget about Thad Lewis? He's lucky he's still in the league. All right, the AFC South. Who do you like there?
This one's, in my opinion, as obvious as the NFC West was for me. I mean, Houston's close if they can get consistent quarterback play. They're a wild card team possibly, but I don't think anybody's touching Indianapolis this year.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at Houston. They're a very good team with Bill O'Brien. No matter who's quarterbacking for them, it seems like they can score points and they can win games. But as Houston keeps getting better, so does Indianapolis. So I just see Indianapolis staying at the top. Final division, the AFC West.
See, this one's interesting because, you have a lot of factors here. San Diego has played well the last couple of years. Kansas City has looked... you can't get any worse than the first overall pick, but they've looked better since bringing in Andy Reid. And Denver is older now. Peyton Manning, he's got to try to make it through a whole season at 39, I believe he is.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. DeMarcus Ware is old, and he showed signs of being old at the end of last season. They still have Von Miller and whoever else, but I would have to go San Diego. I think the addition of a running game with Gordon, who could potentially be a 3-down back. They're coming off a time when they had your guy, Ryan Matthews.
Yeah.
Who he had the potential to be a 3-down back, but he got hurt trying to do it. Yeah. So I think if Gordon stays healthy, I think San Diego could take it.
Yeah, I do like San Diego as a wild card team. I think I just don't see Kansas City doing anything. They don't really do anything for me. You got Jamal Charles, a good defense. Who's playing quarterback for him? That's what it comes down to. San Diego, Phillip Rivers, very underrated quarterback. Now got a run game. defense actually wasn't terrible last year. I think if the defense steps up a little bit more, I definitely think they could make the wild card. But I don't see them eclipsing Denver. Denver just seems too good. I mean, they'll probably be competitive for at least 2 more years. I think that's how long Peyton's going this year and probably a final year, unless something happens this year. So I just see Denver didn't really lose anything. They were able to add a great value towards the end of the round with Shane Ray. If he stays out of trouble, they got to steal.
I forgot they added Shane Ray.
They got to steal if he can stay healthy, and that would give Ware less snaps and keep him fresh for the year. So I just see them as the best team in the AFC West, maybe the best team in the AFC. I'd probably give that to them. I mean, yeah, New England, but New England usually likes after they make it to the Super Bowl, you don't usually see them. So.
Yeah.
All right, I think that wraps up our season previews. That wraps up our show. Very good one. Very good second podcast. It went very well. Remember, guys, to send in your all-time teams. I'll post ours. We'll get this going. If you want to give us your season previews, just contribute to the show. There's a Monday Night Lights. Be a part of it. Just fill it out and send an email to me, and we'll read you out on the show. We'll give you a shout out.
Even if you just want to say hello.
Yeah, hey, we're all for that. We like to know that you guys are listening. All right. Thanks for listening. Monday Night Lights. We'll be back here next week like we always are.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, we bang it out. I think this show was an hour and a half, a little longer than last week, but hey, we got to fit what you guys want in the show. So.
Yeah.
All right, good show, Lewis. I think went off very well. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Monday Night Lights. Not 101.7 WDSR like you used to hearing. Monday Night Lights. What's my sign off now? I need a new sign off.
I guess you could say on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Monday Night Lights.
On our website?
Yeah, on Monday Night Lights on MondayNightLights.com. That's where you find us.
Yeah.
All right, see you later, guys.